Hi everyone! This is Caroline from Musicians Inspiring Musicians, and today I'm going to teach you the C Major Segovia Scale. This is a great scale no matter what level you are. If you are a beginner or if you're an intermediate and you've learned this scale before, it's always good to review and practice this in your routine just to keep both your hands fresh. Scales are great for dexterity, for so many things. Coordination between both hands, scales are good for everything. So you always want to be practicing scales. So today I'm going to teach you, like I said, the C Major Segovia Scale. And if you are a classical guitarist, you can play it on your classical guitar, obviously. If you don't own a classical guitar, you have an acoustic or an electric guitar, you can play this scale on those guitars as well. You can play with your fingers, you can play with your fingers and your nails like I play, or you can even play with a pick. So it's great for everyone to learn this scale, no matter what style of guitar you play. So first I'm going to play the scale so you can hear what it sounds like, tell you a little bit about it, and then we'll take more of an in-depth look about how to play it and the left-hand fingering for it. Also, if you would like to join the Musicians Inspiring Musicians Facebook group, I will leave the link down below. It is a great place for all musicians. If you are, you want to grow as a player and create new things and just help inspire each other and give each other tips and tricks, it's a great little group. So I hope you join. Okay. So with the C Major Segovia Scale, it is a 2-octave scale. I'm going to go ascending and descending. I'm going to start in second position with my second finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, so that's my low C. Then there's going to be a shift up to 5th position, and then I'm going to bring it back down. So again, I will play the scale first so you can hear what it sounds like, and then I'll give you a closer look at my left hand. And when I play this scale right now, I'm just going to alternate my I and M finger to play it. While you're learning it, if you're playing with your fingers, I would try and alternate as best you can. Right now we're trying to learn the notes and the scale and the pattern itself. If you're using a pick, I would try and alternate down and up. But again, in the beginning when you're just trying to get the notes, just do the best you can with the right hand. Okay, so let's hear the scale. So that is your C Major Segovia Scale. There are no sharps or flats in that scale. Like I said, it is great for a beginner. Even if you're not a beginner, it's a great scale to learn as well. I practice this scale a lot at different speeds, different finger combinations, so it's great for everyone. Alright, so now why don't we take a closer look at what my left hand is doing, what notes I'm playing, and to help you learn the scale. Okay, so now we got a closer look of my left hand so you can see what I'm doing, and I will go over what notes I am playing. So I am starting with my second finger, my middle finger, on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. That is your low C. Then you're going to take your pinky, play the 5th fret, 5th string, that is D. Then take your index finger, play the 2nd fret of the 4th string, this is your E. Then you're going to take your second finger, place it on the 3rd fret of the 4th string, that is your F. Pinky on the 5th fret of the 4th string, that is your G. Index finger on the 2nd fret, 3rd string, that's your A. Your ring finger on the 4th fret of the 3rd string, that's your B. So let's just review one more time, just that much. So you start on the 5th string, 3rd fret with your second finger, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Now you are going to shift. After you play the B, right here with my ring finger, I need C. So I'm going to shift my hand. I'm going to bring my thumb with me on the back of the neck to the 5th fret, 3rd string. This is your C. So that's 1 octave. Then we're going to keep going. Place your 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the 3rd string, that is D. Then your index finger on the 5th fret, 2nd string, that's your E. 2nd finger, 6th fret, 2nd string, that's your F. Pinky on the 2nd string, 8th fret, that's a G. Now we're going to go to the 1st string with your 1st finger on the 5th fret, you need an A. 3rd finger, 7th fret, 1st string, B. Pinky on the 1st string, 8th fret, that's your C. Now you got up another octave. So let's review that. I'm starting on the 5th fret, 3rd string, that is your C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now we're at the end of the scale, so we're going to go back down. So you have C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Now we have a shift. We're going to shift back to that B. This finger's going to go back on that B. B, A, G, F, E, D, C. That is the whole scale. I'm going to go through it one more time, just saying the notes so you can see my hand and see how it's going. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. And that is the scale. You probably have noticed a few things, or hopefully you've noticed a few things about my left hand. So right now, if you're just learning the scale, obviously you're worrying about playing the correct notes on the correct string on the correct fret. Now eventually what you want to think about is you want to keep your fingers curled, so I'm playing on my fingertips. I'm also keeping my fingers right behind the fret. They're not back here. See how it's over a little bit more? It's right behind. I'm right behind this fret. I keep my fingers curled and I keep them spaced out and ready to go to play whatever note they need to go to. Another thing I try and do, and obviously, you know, this isn't something that happened overnight, I worked on this over time, is I try and keep my fingers down as long as possible to connect everything. So if I go C to D, I'm going to keep this finger on C because I don't need it right away and it'll help connect it and go right into D very nicely. Versus, if I lift my finger, there's going to be a gap. If I keep it down, it's going to flow nicely. So that's what you want to think about after, you know, you get comfortable with the pattern, and then the notes, you want to start to listen for the flow. Are you connecting the notes? Are they disconnected? Can you try and keep your fingers down and curled more? Versus. Now even look out for that on electric guitar. If you're playing an electric guitar, you're plugged into an amp, things sustain more, but it'll be better for your hand and overall musicianship if you can keep things down and keep it more connected. Also, I had mentioned my thumb. So when I'm starting, my thumb is in line with my second finger. So my thumb is behind the 3rd fret when I'm starting. When I do the shift on this scale, my thumb is coming with me. So when I go to 5th position, my thumb is now behind the 6th fret. You want to think about your thumb and your middle finger have a magnet. So when you move one, the thumb's going to go with it. So when I shift like I said, my thumb is coming with me. I'm not leaving it behind like this. You don't want to do that. You want to bring it with you and then bring it back at the same time. Now I wanted to give you a few more tips to help you practice this scale and help you learn it a little better, because I know it can be a little confusing at first. So one thing to do, practice it very slowly. Don't worry about playing fast. Speed will come with time, but you want to make sure you have the correct finger pattern and you actually know what notes you're playing. So if you were playing this scale and someone said stop, you could tell them what note you were on. You want to know the notes. That's one of the big points of playing this scale, learning the actual notes you are playing. So you want to take it slow. You also, when you take it slow, say the notes out loud, just like I said them to you, because this way you're seeing the note, you're saying it, and you're hearing it. You're getting everything involved. You also want to read it as well. So I'm going to leave a link to a PDF of this scale in the description for you to download so you can follow along with the scale and know what notes you're actually playing and what they look like if you were to write them on the music staff. Another thing to help with learning this scale is break it down. So you can break it down a few notes at a time if you just want to do C, D, E, 3 at a time, and then build upon that. So say you got that, then you can do E, F, G, E, F, G, and then put it together. C, D, E, F, G. Break it down into smaller steps. You don't have to learn the whole scale in one sitting, especially if you're still learning the fretboard and learning the notes. Another thing is to just practice one octave and then put it together. So you could just practice the scale in second position from C to C, and then add in the shift. That way you're practicing the shift and going to the next note and not just stopping before it, because that's another thing you're gonna have to do is practice a smooth shift. So you could just practice one octave to get that smooth. Then you could practice the second octave, and that's just in fifth position. And do that over and over until you're comfortable with it, and then you can put the whole scale together. And then same thing, descending. You could start on your high C and just go down one octave. Do that over and over, and then I would start here. If you're going to practice descending the second half, you want to start on the C and add in the shift. That way, again, you're practicing the shift. So definitely break it up into smaller sections. That'll help you learn it better and more efficiently. If you're really having trouble with, the position and what notes you're actually playing, definitely break it up. If you try and just play through it and struggle through the whole entire scale over and over again, it's going to be frustrating and it's going to take you longer to learn it rather than if you break it up. And again, do not worry about the speed. It is way better to take this really slow and really make sure you know everything than to just play it fast and not know what you're doing. So this is the first video in this C Major Segovia Scale challenge. So today was learning the scale and just practicing that on your own. Getting familiar with it, getting comfortable with it, making sure your fingers are in the correct place, you have the correct notes, everything like that. There's going to be a lot more videos in this little scale challenge. So you want to learn the scale and then we can play around with different rhythms, different right hand patterns, all to help you become a better guitar player. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. Look out for the next video in this series. Click down below to join the Musicians Inspiring Musicians Facebook group, and please look out for more videos. Rock on and have a great day. Bye.